The biggest thing that comes to my mind is just gratitude. Like, there wasn't a day where I didn't wake up grateful for what I got to do every day. And I don't think people realize how much the Newman Center impacted me, even more than I could ever give back. It was just kind of, Father Cheney talks about it a lot, just the gift of being able to lead someone to Christ, and how it's like once you drink from that well, you can never be satisfied. And I think that's definitely what I experienced in such a tangible way. Getting to be part of students' walk towards Christ and a deeper relationship with him. But it almost felt like I wasn't worthy to be able to experience the moments that I experienced and be part of the journeys that I was part of. Watching a student go from not really knowing their faith to practicing their faith, or after being here for 2 years, I got to watch women tell me I don't know what it is to pray a holy hour, to then now I would walk into the chapel and I would just see them praying every day. There's nothing like that. And I think especially because I know how much God's heart and Jesus' heart rejoices when he gets to experience that. And he is so kind and generous that he lets me taste a portion of that. And that's what I've experienced being here. Just little mini miracles every single day. I do remember, a particular student, well, I guess I could say, Laura Lang, just walking with her. And I remember when I first met her, our first few conversations right off the bat, she was very honest with me, and she was like, I think I'm in a season of dryness. I just kind of started getting in this community called BisonCatholic. She's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know where to start, and I'm not feeling anything in prayer. And then, by the grace of God, I had the opportunity to walk with her in discipleship. And it became less of just regular disciple or disciplee, but more just a friendship. It was a friendship that was just naturally walking towards Christ. And in that, I got to see the way she fought for her faith. Even when she didn't feel like going into the chapel, even if she didn't know how to pray at the time, seeing her say yes to the Lord, those were the little moments that inspired me to just continue to say yes in my own way. And to get to see where she is now, where we just have conversations about praying and what the Holy Spirit was doing her in her heart and what God's great plan for her life is. I'm to see where she started, and now to know that she not only hears the voice of God, but she has a friendship with him. It is the most gratifying feeling, and nothing really compares. Some of these things I think we assume it's going to happen from night to day, just a shift. And that's, I think, where people are tempted to give up. But it was more a gradual shift.
Like a dawn or something.
Yes, it was slowly dawning on her. And it came from the fact that she did not give up. And I think that is the biggest thing that a lot of the students here could learn, or just really cling on to, is you'll never really be enough. There's that question that the enemy likes to distract us with, which is am I smart enough? Am I good enough? Am I worthy enough to even come before the Lord? Am I worthy enough to lead Bible study, or all these things? Those questions are just distractions. What God is asking is, are you willing? And she answered yes. And that was really the big game changer. At first, he asked me, are you willing to be my missionary? And I had to give him a small, little, imperfect yes, and he did so much with that. And so now he's asking me, are you willing to be, in a sense, my bride? And to that, I have also answered yes. I don't know where that will take me yet. Stay tuned. But he has asked, and I feel honored to just be able to have been given that invitation. And now I get to say yes. I will be, God willing, entering the Handmaids of the Heart of Jesus. The sisters, it's really beautiful. They have 4 aspects to the charism, which when I heard it, I was like, this is how the Lord made my heart to love. I can't imagine a charism that particularly captures my heart the way this charism does. But Their charism is 4 parts, so they are Eucharistic, Marian, diocesan, and evangelistic, which is really beautiful. And I've heard one of the sisters describe their work as just being the spiritual stay-at-home moms of the parish life, which I think sums it up so perfectly.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah, so they're there to be spiritual mothers, and I think they were really trying to fill the need in our church today, in which we have a lot of people coming to the parishes, coming to the pews every Sunday, who don't actually know what they believe in. And without even knowing, they're really hungering to know Christ in a deeper way.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of like missionaries / spiritual stay-at-home moms to the parishioners and to those people who are in the diocese and that they get to serve every day.
Yeah.
So many things. I think, first above all, to do the Lord's will. I think I've come to a point in my faith where nothing gratifies me or satisfies me or gives me more life than doing the Lord's will.
Mm-hmm.
And to die to myself, die to my very human desires or just tendencies to be able to just see His will be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think one of the things I'm most excited for is to put myself in a position to be a vessel for His will to be done through me. I've had a small little taste of that being here at Newman, getting to say yes to being His missionary, all the amazing things that He did through me that I would never have been able to do on my own or even envision on my own. So to see that on a larger scale, because now I'd be entering my vocation, that I'm really excited about. But also just getting to learn what it means to be a bride.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have been asking me, does it really excite you? Was that one of the big parts of being Jesus' bride? I'm like, yes, that's definitely the main thing that has drawn me. My total love for the Lord and for Jesus and seeing Him as my bridegroom. But the reality is I don't even know what that means yet. Fully.
There's a mystery, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And I know what it looks like for me now in my life, but to actually be a bride of Christ, I really do not know what that kind of communion holds, but I do know that it's going to be life-changing and that I deeply desire it, and I'm super excited to know what that means. I think there's that underlying fear that I always have to, in this process, I've had to continually address and bring to the Lord, but the fear that I don't have what it takes to live this life, or the fear that He'll call me out of it, or all of these different things.
Right.
I won't be able to be what He's asking me to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I've learned in this process that really rooted in that fear is a misunderstanding of how much I really just have to be dependent on the Lord. From that fear comes this almost very human temptation to think that I'm going to go into this on my own. And that's why I won't have what it takes, or that's why I won't be quote-unquote enough.
Yeah.
But that is the enemy specifically projecting a future on me that is without the Lord. And what I have to do is bring Him back into the reality and to know that if He's asking this of me, He's not going to abandon me.
Right.
And He's actually going to give me all the grace that I need to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So there's always that underlying human temptation to fear. I won't be able to do this, but there's so much even selfishness rooted in that fear. I won't be able to do this.
Right.
Instead of me realizing He is the one who's going to do these things through me. And I just have had a lot of students or just people around me tell me that with mission, for example.
Yeah.
I could never be a missionary. I've had so many students tell me, I could never do what you do.
Yeah.
And then I'm I wish you would have known me a couple months before I said yes to this. It's I couldn't have either. But it's not about are you enough, it's about are you willing.
Are you willing?
And then God
So
supplies
true.
everything else.
So true.
So we make it more complicated than it actually is.
Right.
It has been one of the many ways in which God has shown me that He's always going to provide for me and that He cares for me. In the ways that He has provided for my family. I think their initial reaction was kind of when I said yes to Focus, they're where is this coming from? What are you doing? But slowly over time, it was funny because I was home in Georgia for the last week, and so I was with my family, got to talk to them a lot about this, and I asked them, I was like, how are you guys doing with all of this? And they said, it's funny because as God has been taking you slowly on this journey, he has been taking us on this journey, and he has been preparing our hearts. So you saying that you're going to enter in August is actually not a big shock. He has been preparing our hearts for this. And so their reaction has been really, I'm very thankful, I'm very blessed. It has been good. And in it, I've been like forced to just continually entrust them to the Lord. Kind of in the same way when I said yes to Focus, I knew that I would have to entrust my family to him. I have to do that now as well. And to trust that he's going to take care of it. As he tells us, like, if you take care of my things, I will take care of yours.
Right.
And he has shown me that. He's like, just pay attention, look at me, pay attention to the yes that you're giving me, and I will take care of your loved ones and of everything else. And he's shown me that. He has been really taking care of their hearts. And so they're very supportive, excited. There's still grief there, which is normal.
Right.
And it's deep. But I had a sister of life speak into that in a very beautiful way. She said, if there's grief, I think it actually would be sad if you were leaving home and it was easy for you, because that means that there wasn't love there. But if it's hard for you to leave, take that as a moment of gratitude to thank the Lord that there was love there. And that's what's making it hard to say goodbye.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful that there was love there. I have to say that, and I've told a lot of people this, and I might cry as I say it, so just bear with me.
Tears are welcome.
Good, because a lot are coming. But God has shown me his love here in the past 2 years. And from the moment that I entered this building, literally the first day that I stepped into this building, I was welcomed with so much love and so much joy. And I understood immediately that Christ was present here and that he was going to continue to be present here. And I couldn't have imagined what beautiful of a community I would have been welcomed with. Like, I never could have imagined that for myself. And it is because I was loved so well at St. Paul's Lehman Center that I even had the courage to say yes to my vocation. I think I needed these 2 years for the Lord to show me how much he truly longs for my heart. And the way that he did that was by loving me through the people here. Yeah. And it's just so special, and it's so necessary in today's world. And I think especially in a world where, young people are just being led astray and confused and just are filled with fear and anxiety. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Newman Center is a place of for them to encounter truth and beauty and goodness that they aren't encountering outside in the world. So I try to tell people, or parents as well, to do everything in your power to just get your child through the door. Once they're through the door, the Newman Center will do the rest. But you just gotta get them through the door. And they may not want to, and they may be kicking and screaming, but they have no idea how much it's gonna change their life. And it's changed my life, and I've only been here for 2 years, so I can't imagine, what it could do for people who are gonna be here longer. Just going back to the religious vocation, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be in this place right now. So really just encouraging students, even if it seems like a far-fetched idea or super out there, especially young women and young men, to consider religious life and to not be afraid, and to know that just because they say yes to discerning this does not mean they're going to end up in the convent.
You're not getting ordained or saying final vows.
It's as soon as I say yes to the Lord, that's it. There's no going back. And there's actually many opportunities for you to for the Lord to be able to lead you down another path. But there's something so good about just giving him the room to do that. So to not be afraid to go on a come and see retreat, to even just talk to a religious person about it. Just because you say yes to this small little thing, a retreat or an application or something like that, does not mean you're gonna be called to this. Right. But at least you're giving God the space to do what he wants. Right. And I would tell people, to learn to fall in love with doing the Lord's will. Because if they can learn to see his will in every moment of their lives, that's really where sanctity lies. I think we think of the saints as doing these big actions and these big things, and that's how saints are made. But really, it's in the little things and in the little moments, and doing those moments well, and finding the Lord's will in those small little things, as insignificant as they may seem.
Well, thank you, Fabiola. Thank you for
Nathan.
not just your time here, but of course the last 2 years, and all of our prayers for you as well as you embark on the next stages of your vocational journey. And I do have a sincere hope, given that the handmaids are in our region, that someday our paths will cross again
I'm also
in a
hoping.
very, very blessed and new way. So who knows in the Lord over time, just the amazing things that He has designed. So
thank you,
yeah,
Nathan.
definitely.
Yeah.
God bless you.
God bless you guys. I'll be praying for you every
Appreciate
single
that.
day. Thank you.